Let's turn my headphones up a little bit. We can go. Let's get it. North, west, south, east. Hey, call the state your name, you online with the G. North, west, south, east. Where you from? What's on your mind? What you know? What you think? North, west, south. Hey, it's all good on some things. We just agree to disagree. North, west, south, east. Oh yeah, you're in the circle with the chief with true speech. Hey, what's on your mind? Hey, let's talk about it. What's going down in your town? Hey, let's talk about it. Rep your city, state, and side when we talk about it. Truthfully speaking, it's where everybody talking about it. Yeah, we worldwide when they talk about us. Inspiring, changing lives when they talk about us. Special guests, open panel, all type of topics, changing information, free your mind, iron sharpen iron. Yeah, we online with the check-in. You better know we outside with the check-in. Man, we going worldwide with the check-in. Like, share, subscribe when the Chiefs about to check in. Yeah, it's going down. Check in. Sharing knowledge of the mind when we check in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You check in, hit the bell, get notified when the Chiefs about to check in. Yeah. This is how it's going down, man. This is the new wave of internet radio, podcasting. Yeah, truthfully speaking, Chief Cali. Yeah, check in. One time for your host checking in. Yeah, the one and only Chief Cali. Halito. What's happening, y'all? What's going on? Hey, man, it's gonna be a little lengthy one, so let me get started because tonight I got a re-interview with my brother Kerry Davis for Our Story Season 2. I know y'all think it ain't coming, but it's coming. It's coming. I got a lot of interviewing. I did a lot of interviews, man. The other night I interviewed with my sister DeWanda. I interviewed with my sister DeWanda from the We Call BS podcast. Also, ex-pastor Eli Taylor. He spoke with him also for the docuseries. So the docuseries is coming, y'all. I don't know, I just want y'all to know it's coming. It's coming. I be in this computer as much as I can between work and living life, and trying to get rest. I work a lot. So it is coming though. Peace to everybody checking in. Texas, what's happening with you, my sister? How you feeling? My brother G is up in here. What's happening with you? Highly favored Victor, what's happening with you? Big dog Billy OG is in the building. Like I say, this is gonna be a little lengthy. But I'm gonna get it cranked up now so I can get on through it. Just live right here, man. It's basically dealing with Black victimhood. A lot of our people hate to look ourselves in the mirror. We hate to look at things we do to hurt ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? My brother Chris, what's happening with you? A lot of times we hate to look in the mirror and look at what we do to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to be the victim. It really showed, even in this election thing. We've been so used to getting handouts from the Democrats that, when we talk about how our grandparents and stuff lived, where they got up and they went to work and they got it. My grandmama used to get up. I'm talking about before the sun was up and she be out. My grandfathers had passed away. Both of them had passed away. So I never knew my grandfathers, but I've heard of them. I've heard stories of them. But my grandmothers, they used to get up and go to work. And that's how we were taught. We were taught to get up and go get it as men. My grandmothers on both sides taught us as men, you get up, you go get it, you provide, you make it happen for your family. Forget waiting on handouts, none of that. You get up and you make it happen for your family. You're going to struggle. You're going to go through the rough spots. You know what I'm saying? You're a man. Get up,
go make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't really live my life in this newly, we're oppressed mind state, this oppression state of mind. Oh my gosh, systematic racism. Oh my gosh, slavery. Oh my gosh, we're being bullied by white supremacy. I don't live my life in that bubble as a lot of our people do. Yeah, Texas. Yeah. um, so I'm gonna start this video off. I put together a whole edit, but I'm gonna start it off with how I had a conversation on my sister Queen's Throne's channel one night. Yeah, the woe is me. The woe is me because of slavery. I can't elevate and I can't do anything. I can't stand that. Like, that irks my soul, when I hear people crying about, because here's the thing. For you to say we're oppressed, there's different forms of oppression. I get it. But for you to say you're oppressed, you have to tell me, who does this oppression thing work for? Because there's many of us who came from the gutter, who came out not the mud, the quicksand, and they fought and they brought themselves up. And some of them are living their best lives in their success of their hard work, and systematic racism didn't stop them. It may have, it may have tried to hold them back a little bit, but it didn't stop them. And this is what I mean when I say I don't live oppressed. You feel what I'm saying? I don't teach my children to live oppressed. Are there some disadvantages that we have to face? Of course there are. Other people face disadvantages also. Are there some uh, unfairness, some abuse, some things we may not like in life, and it's unfair? So, yes, of course there is, but it doesn't oppress me. It doesn't keep me to the point where I have no freedom, or I am not allowed, or I am not able to go above and beyond. You feel what I'm saying? Peace, Gwendolyn. What's happening with you? So, this conversation, I'm gonna start it off with this conversation that happened on my sister Queen's Throne's channel. Shout out to my sister Queen's Throne. Y'all make sure y'all go check her channel out. That sister has, had my back on many occasions. And even in her platform where, I was I wouldn't say in a hostile environment. It just wasn't my environment as we know it over here, where many of us claim, our indigenous background and things like that over here. Some of them still over there in her chat. They're still rocking with the Africa Black Power thing. Now, this conversation came about because we were having a conversation about the pedophile platform, the House of Con Artists platform ran by Sa Nigga, or Sa Diddy, or some of y'all know him as Sa Netta. Well, we were talking about that platform this night, and I was saying, it just baffles me how people scream peace and black power, peace and black power. And these are the same people that are harming our children. These are the same people that are harming our babies. These are the same people that started cults, such as Dr. York, when he came down here to Atlanta and bought up all that land, and y'all took y'all babies right to this sick individual. And he's screaming that he's for our people. He's for us. Brother Polite, y'all knew what this man was doing for a long time. A lot of y'all knew what this brother was doing, and y'all still was rocking with him. Shanetta has a whole platform, and he starts his shows off peace and black power, family, peace and black power. You feel what I'm saying? And that just bugged me one night. I woke up out of my sleep and I was trying to, figure out, I said, God damn, how this nigga get on my, how did he get on my TV? I don't watch this nigga. But this night, it must have been meant for me to, B-Scapes, what's happening? Virginia, what's happening? It must have been meant for me to wake the fuck up and go in this night. And I think Queen Strong was live this night when I was woke up out of my sleep because of I heard his voice and peace and black power. What irritated me was the fact that there were people who knows what his platform is about, knows what it's turned into, knows that there's been many uh child harmers who came through that platform, and people still go sit in his chat. Nobody presses a line with him. It's a joke over there. And nobody pushes an issue about that. Not only him, but even other people before him. Because the point I made was this has been going on so long that people have even created cults behind this. You don't just create a cult overnight. Okay. It takes time. And you have to get people on your team. You have to get people on your team. So that means people was turning a blind eye to a lot of things. You feel what I'm saying? People were turning a blind eye to a lot of things, and some people were walking their children right into these predators. Now, we don't want to talk about things like that, but we want to have fake outrage when the white man comes in our community and does something to us in our community. Now we want to burn our city down. We want to burn our towns down. We want to, we want to just be so fake outraged. But when it comes to your own, you don't want to turn that mirror around and look at what your own is doing right next to you. You'll stay quiet about it. I had a problem when I hear people scream peace and black power, because this night you'll hear in the conversation I asked the question, well, how can you scream black power, yet in the same breath, you're telling me you're oppressed? At what point does the black power kick in? And what I was trying to explain was until you put some action behind your, we don't rock with the black nothing over here, but this is what they say, black power. Until you put some action behind black power, it's nothing more than a feel-good thing to say, to make you feel good, to make you feel some type of way. But there's no power behind saying black power. You feel what I'm saying? And then, especially if you're going to continue claiming being a victim and you're systematically oppressed and this and that, because the point I keep trying to make is everybody's not living that way. That's your story. That's your reality, because that's not everybody's reality. Every copper colored, melanated person is not living oppressed in their life. All right. So let's go into the conversation.
I had a question for him.
Okay, go ahead.
Are are you saying like in 2023 that we aren't oppressed, that there's no oppression going on?
We're in 2024.
2024, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying
One
I'm
in the
I'm
morning.
saying I'm saying I'm not oppressed. I don't live oppressed. I don't.
Hmm.
Who's oppressing you? How are you
But
oppressed?
but not just you, but our community.
Now I'm asking the question. All right, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening for how are you oppressed, sister? How are you oppressed? And why can't you get past that oppression? I don't know what your form of oppression is. I deal with disadvantages. I deal with uh, you know, some racism. I deal with some disadvantages, but I'm not oppressed. Nothing's holding me back from doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. Um, and obviously there are others of us who felt the same way who didn't fall into the victimhood of slavery because slavery happened, as many of our people do. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, I messed up.
Yeah, I had a question for him.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you saying like in 2023 that we aren't oppressed, that there's no oppression going on?
We're in 2024.
2024, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying,
1
I'm,
in the
I'm
morning.
saying, I'm saying, I'm not oppressed. I don't live oppressed. I don't.
Hmm.
Who's oppressing you? How are you
But
oppressed?
not just you, but our community.
Oh, I'm speaking for me. Now I'm asking you in our community. You're in our community, right? How
Yeah.
are you oppressed? Who's oppressing you and how?
Um, so I come from a family
Hmm.
where I am one of three black children. My
Okay.
parents were white. I
Okay.
have four white siblings. It's harder for me to get a loan than my white siblings.
Okay.
Harder for me to get a home loan than my white siblings.
And
I
that
have to
oppresses
prove,
you?
yes, I have to prove much more than
Okay.
they do to get a loan. I have to make.
I'm sorry. What I was saying was I was listening to her to hear for the oppression. You feel what I'm saying? And what she said to me didn't sound like oppression. I mean, I guess if that's how it listen, I guess if that's what she considers oppression, then she's oppressed. Okay. I hear a disadvantage. I hear a struggle. You know, it just doesn't sound like something you can't get past. You can't rise above. So I was looking for the no freedom, like in chains, oppression. I didn't hear it. So, I let her go. No, I'm listening to what oppresses her. She can't get a loan.
Make more much money than they do to get a home loan.
What if you didn't have to get a loan?
That's not,
What if you didn't need to get a loan? What if you didn't need to go to their businesses to get a loan? What if you made
but
the money? What if
that's just not the reality for the majority of our community.
okay.
So there's no what ifs. There's people out there here with real struggles like that where you can't just say that people in our community aren't being oppressed.
And there are people out here
If
that
it was a if it
created
was a
and there are people out here who would disagree with you. You and your oppressed way of thinking. So you're saying you can't say that there are people out here that we're not being oppressed, and there are people who will disagree with your way of thinking, your oppressed way of thinking.
listen, if I could get it the same way as my siblings,
Hmm.
then I would say that that's not happening.
So what about the people who actually went out here and created their own jobs? They created their own situations. They help bring in other people around them. You feel what I'm saying? They created their own banks and stuff, and they don't have to go to the white man. What about those people? What about people? I mean, her LL. I'm listening for it. That's what I was listening for. Um, she said she can't get a loan, basically. So far, that's what I'm hearing. I can't get a loan. And I'm asking her, well, sis, what happens if you don't have to go to the white man for a loan? Like, what happens? I asked her, I said, there's people out here who got their own banks, black people. Why can't you go to them? They're not oppressed. They're not living oppressed. So why
Those
Okay,
are you
people
so
got
living
help
oppressed?
from
so
the white
what
man.
what what
They got
bank
help.
what bank in the United States does a black man own?
We got banks.
Can
We
you
got
tell me
black bank.
that?
We have black banks right here in Atlanta. Sometimes we just have to be educated. What bank in America does a black man own? Huh? Mm. No.
Which
We
one?
have right here in Atlanta. We got one right over there. I can't think of the name of it. Right here on Cascade is a black bank. We have one right here in Riverdale. Is a black bank right here, owned by black people.
Which one?
I can't
Which
think of
tell me
the.
so that I can go bank there. Which one?
A black-owned bank in D.C. partners with a black-owned bank from L.A. to combine assets to over $1 billion and become the largest black-owned bank in the country. Group economics. It's not the he, it's the we. And it's not black excellence. It's just excellent. Done by black people. Family, we can do the same thing on our micro levels. I've done it in my real life. Syndications, funds, group economics, own things, control assets. I'm on the same goal. $20, $50 million funds, $1 billion of assets, $1 billion of capital under management in my real life. Join us. DM me cash flow for mentorship on how to maximize your equity, your retirement accounts, your credit, or your business. Tap in. Let's go.
So my name is Benicia Poole Watson. I'm the owner of my own federally chartered bank. My bank is based right here in the state of Texas, but I serve nationwide. So the real Black Wall Street is definitely in the room. Economically empowering my people, putting financial ability and stability in their hands, in their mindsets.
I'm just saying, this lady don't sound oppressed to me. I mean, I don't know. She just don't sound oppressed to me. Not saying she didn't go through some things to get to where she is. I'm just saying she don't sound oppressed.
Finance commercial and residential real estate up to $650 million. And with that being said, that means everything. This building that we're standing in, I can finance it. If you want to build something, I can finance it. If you want to buy a house, I can finance it. If you want to cash out an equity in a house that you own, I can finance it. So what we lack in our community is access to capital. So when you have access to a bank that wants to do business with you, unlike some of the other banks that are being fined daily for not wanting to do business with us, this is where you need to perk up and listen. So I think we have an exclusive opportunity here to get information that you won't find anywhere else. What we lack is knowledge in our community. And if we're giving you the game, if you're not taking notes, at least record some of this stuff because you might want to use it later.
Number 1, Alamerica Bank. This Black-owned bank provides a unique banking experience in the heart of Birmingham, Alabama. Their staff of experienced bankers is committed to providing quality and personalized service. Alamerica Bank offers a full array of banking services from deposit accounts to loans. Number 2, Broadway Federal Bank. Broadway Federal Bank and City First Bank of D.C. merged in April 2021 to create a new institution maintaining a bicoastal headquarters in both Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. Broadway was founded by a group of Black civic leaders to provide loans to minority customers, including returning veterans, who were often ignored by financial institutions or granted loans at high interest rates. Combining these two institutions has increased their capacity for investments in multifamily affordable housing, small businesses, and nonprofit development in financially underserved urban areas. Number 3, Carver Federal Savings Bank. Carver was founded to serve African American communities, and today it is committed to building wealth for its customers.
These are black banks. We crying about going to get loans from the white man. We crying about going to get, and I said, well, what happens if you don't have to go to the white man? Like, why can't you go to your own people and see how that works out? Like, we didn't even know that there were black banks.
And to creating sustainable communities. Their mission is to assist the Black community in better understanding of the basics of banking and credit in order to achieve and retain home ownership, and in building and strengthening small businesses overall. Number 4, Carver State Bank. Carver has a tremendous heritage within the Savannah-Chatham County area as an innovative financial service leader for 85 years. Carver has been successful because of its loyal customers and the astute judgment, leadership, and hard work of its directors, management, and other employees. the Atlanta Hawks agreed to refinance a $35 million construction of their Emory Sports Medicine complex. The historic transaction was through a syndicate of Black-owned banks led by Carver State Bank. Number 5. Citizens Savings Bank. What started out as one...
That's the one I was thinking of here in Atlanta. We got a lot of Citizens here in Atlanta. That's the one I was trying to think of when she was talking to me. But yeah, we got black banks here in Atlanta. That's what I was trying to tell them on the live. Like T.I. and Killer Mike came together. They took their money out the regular banks. I think it was a Citizen Bank. They went and put their money. They went and took a group of people. They withdrew their money out of the regular banks and went and put them into Citizens. It was all over the news here.
Citizens Savings Bank became the first minority-owned bank in Tennessee. The institution's name was changed to the Citizens Savings Bank and Trust Company in 1920, as it still remains the oldest continuously operated Black-owned bank in the U.S. Citizens Bank puts its communities first and invests in areas underserved by the traditional banking sector, lending money for affordable housing, small businesses, and community facilities, and providing technical financial assistance to its customers. Number 6. Citizens Trust Bank. Citizens Trust Bank celebrates its 100-year legacy in 2021, built on the essence of vision, courage, and honor. This community bank was formed in Atlanta to emphasize the importance of fiscal responsibility, thriftiness, home ownership, and equal access and equality in financial services for all. Today, Citizens Trust Bank is one of the country's oldest and most firmly established community banks, yet the team is adaptable to stay relevant in a rapidly changing environment. Thanks to the #BankBlack social media campaign in July 2016, more than 8,000 new accounts were opened at their branch in just 1 week. Number 7. Columbia Savings and Loan. This bank has been serving commercial and individual accounts in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by offering loans for homes and businesses, as well as personal loans. Their full-service office can help you allocate and grow your investments in a secure bank. Columbia Savings and Loan Association stands as a guiding light for progress in the Black community, providing a viable opportunity for minorities to apprentice in banking and business, as well as the mortgage loans for families that wish to obtain their dream home. Number 8. Commonwealth National Bank. This is a full-service nationally chartered commercial bank headquartered in the city of Mobile. Commonwealth's asset size is roughly $60 million. They offer free online banking with no minimum daily balance required and a variety of business accounts designed to help you maximize your banking experience. Number 9. First Independence Bank. This Black-owned, state-chartered commercial bank is the 7th largest Black-owned bank in the United States.
Wow.
It started out with a mission of capital accumulation for individuals and business entities by delivering financial services to the underserved and minority communities. Still today, First Independence Bank prioritizes services to the Black community. They offer a variety of high-quality banking services, from managing account to personal loans, mortgages, consumer education, and investments.
I'm just saying, y'all, I was listening to her. I wanted to hear what was oppressing her. She couldn't get along. She couldn't get along. I was listening.
Good morning. I am here at the gym getting ready to go get my workout on, but if you really want to support the Black community, Black brothers and sisters, anybody who
What's happening with you? Great to see you.
Wants to support, we know we spend the most money out of any demographic, but we have the least net worth. We got to work on that. We got to flip that. So I'm starting to research some Black-owned banks, some banks who offer high interest rates when it comes to their savings accounts and their certificates of deposit, because we can be really leery about putting all of our trust in a bank or any financial institution if we don't know a lot about money or if we don't have a lot of money to lose. But anyway, one bank that I'm going to start researching is One United. It's the largest Black-owned bank in the country. I believe it's based out of Massachusetts. I plan on opening up an account with them this week. I will get back with you guys. Please follow me. If you have an account with them, let me know in the comments. And let's grow some wealth as a people in the community.
There we go. Hey, it sounds like networking to me. It sounds like somebody that's not willing to just live oppressed. I don't live oppressed. I don't live my life crying about systematic racism and white supremacy and all of that nonsense. Like this is who I would want to talk to. People like this, who's not just going to, like, they're trying to figure it out amongst us, you know? But guess what? All these black banks I just showed y'all is the ones that y'all will disrespect. Y'all are dog the people. Y'all are, y'all are disrespect your own because you have to be the victim. You have to be the victim about something.
Come check this. Come check this.
We even got women who
Ever heard of
banks.
the first African-American woman to run a bank? Meet Maggie Lena Walker, an amazing trailblazer born in 1864 in Richmond, Virginia. Her mom was a former slave and a laundress, and her dad was a butler. Growing up after the Civil War, Maggie faced many challenges but was determined to succeed. Maggie was a bright student and finished high school in 1883. She started out as a teacher, but her love for helping the community led her to join the Independent Order of St. Luke, which was a group dedicated to improving the lives of African Americans. Maggie quickly moved up in the organization and became its leader in 1899. Under her leadership, the order grew rapidly. She had a big dream to make African Americans financially stable and independent. In 1903, Maggie founded the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, becoming the first African American woman to start and run a bank. Her bank only gave loans and financial services to the African American community, helping many people buy homes and start businesses. Maggie didn't stop there.
And this was back in the the 1800s or something, and she wasn't feeling and living oppressed. This is what I'm saying. Like the whole victimhood shit. Like it was people way back then that wasn't living oppressed, that wasn't trying to live oppressed. Some people ask, when was America? I was asked the other day, when was America ever great? For him to say, make America great again. Before, when our people was running this land, when our people knew who they were on this land, that's when America was great. You feel what I'm saying? When we was roaming this land as we know it, as ours, like this when America was great. When we had Black Wall Streets and we were thriving as businesses, America was great. You feel what I'm saying? We were living good. You feel what I'm saying? Like there wasn't just one Black Wall Street. There were many of them. There were many of them where our people ran these Black Wall Street cities. America was great. We was looking good. Even in our struggles, we were looking good. We were living good. So, hey, I don't know when, I know we want to have this victimhood. When was America ever great? I don't live like that. I don't live like that. I don't live that way.
He also started a newspaper called the St. Luke Herald to share news and information. She fought for women's rights.
You see how our people are creating? We're creative. We do things. We make things happen. We make the world go round. And y'all want to live oppressed. This is all I was saying. You can live oppressed. If systematic racism has you down and you can't have it. You have it. You can have it. I don't want it.
Was a big supporter of education. Maggie Lena Walker made a huge impact in the lives of many. She broke barriers and created opportunities for African Americans and women at a time when it was really hard. Her legacy as a banker, community leader, and fighter for equality still inspires us today.
Come on now. Come on now. This is a woman right here. This is a woman right here showing you the mindset of I'm not going to live oppressed. No matter what we're going through, I'm going to create. This is a woman that did this. We always hear about the men. I wanted to show you a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got to get out this old woe is me as excuse for everything. We got an excuse for why we can't better ourselves. And we don't like to look at ourselves when we fucking up with ourselves.
Over 4,500 bank companies in the U.S., only 22 are black owned, and one of those were founded in D.C. So let's dive into a brief history on the pioneers behind DC's banking industry that also played a major role in the banking industry for black people in the United States. Starting in 1888, the first black-owned banks in America were established, including the Capital Savings Bank in Washington, D.C., which initially started off with a lot of success, but ultimately closed its doors in 1892, but paved the way for other black-owned banks, including the Industrial Bank, the only African-American family-owned bank in the D.C. area.
It's never too late to do what you want to do. It's never too late. America has always been great. There's no other place I want to go live. No other place that I want to go live than America. So you tell me.
Industrial lists among the top 5 largest black-owned banks in the U.S. Established in 1934 by Jesse Mitchell and a group of friends who decided to establish a new bank to serve black Washingtonians. It started with only 6 employees and $192,000 in assets. In 1954, it was the only black bank in the district and the largest black-owned bank in the country with assets totaling $7 million. Still being around today, company officials report that Industrial presently has over $500 million in assets, over 140 employees, 6 locations in the DMV, and 3 in the New York, New Jersey area. Every year, Industrial reinvests 60% of its assets back into the community and supports community programs such as the DC Jail Financial Literacy Program. Industrial Bank has built a reputation for supporting the economic empowerment of black communities in Washington, D.C., and continues to be a valuable resource for its customers.
Matter of fact, so my question, this is my question. When people tell me that we're oppressed and they cry about white supremacy and they cry about systematic racism, when I hear things like this, I just ran through a list of banks ran by our people. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to give me some kind of garbage excuse of why they could do it and you can't. You're going to give me some kind of BS garbage excuse of why they can do it, but you can't. And then you want to put oppression on all of us. Oh, we're oppressed. Oh, systematic racism. Oh, woe is me. Come on, man. Come on, man. I got a verse in one of my songs where I say, I say this. Your opposition is something. I can't think of it right quick. I gotta remember it. But basically, what I'm saying is, your opposition that's gonna stop your rising progression is niggas around you still crying oppression. While they live oppressed, go the other direction, because they ain't gonna help with your better conditions. I said it before and I'll say it again. For us to unite, it's gonna take a division, because niggas oppress niggas every day, right where you stay, but y'all don't want to have that conversation. It's just how I feel. Let me tell you, if you look up Big Mike, not Big Mike, Killer Mike here in Atlanta, the rapper, Killer Mike, him and T.I. put their money into those banks because they're black banks, black-owned banks here in Atlanta. I can't think of the names of them right now, but you can go look up Killer Mike and T.I. Supporting the black banks here in Atlanta. All I'm saying is, if you're oppressed, you're oppressed. Okay. I mean,
No, I'm saying that there is oppression going on. You can't
there's
just sit on
oppression
your little
going on
mountain
everywhere.
and say that there isn't.
Listen. I'm gonna say this. If you feel oppressed, fine. That's fine. That's your life. I don't live
No,
life
I mean,
oppressed.
no. Look, I'm lucky and I live fine, but I'm saying that there's struggles that even I've had to go through, that I see
Yeah.
people going through. So you can't say that people that that's not happening. You cannot say that that's not happening.
And you cannot try to put your oppression, woe is me energy on a whole group of people. If you're oppressed and you feel oppressed, hey sister, I can't stop you from how you feel. Just do it over there, away from me. I don't want that energy on me. I don't want the white supremacy. Oh my gosh, woe is me, slavery, 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 oppression, energy on me. So you can't stop people from their way of thinking. I'm just trying to show y'all something to motivate y'all to where you're not living oppressed and you're not always whining and crying about white supremacy and systematic racism. Woe is me. I'm just trying to show you some people that might motivate you a little bit to help you feel like, whoa, if they did it, I can do it. Maybe I need to find out the blueprint of how they did it in a world of so-called white supremacy, in a world of so-called systematic racism, in a world where we did, and a lot of people did, deal with slavery. How come white people can get past slavery? Asian people was getting past slavery. Everybody went through slavery. Everybody. The whole world was doing slavery. Everybody was doing slavery. Africans went through slavery. How come the Africans, they're doing good? I don't hear Africans running around here crying about oppression and systematic racism. Ain't them y'all people?
Residential real estate up to 650 million. And with that being said, that means everything. This building that we're standing in, I can finance it. You want to build something, I can.
The country's oldest
money, or if we don't have a.
I'm just trying to ask, how are you oppressed?
No, look.
Have you even looked at our prison system?
Our what?
Our prison system.
Sure.
Here.
Sure.
There's a disparity there, would you not agree?
Definitely.
Now, what is that? Why do you think the disparity is there? So someone is doing it, and it's either a coincidence that most of the black people in jail are black.
So is everybody in prison? See, this is where it's finna get ugly. So everybody in prison is just in there because of white supremacy.
Okay, no. So you're saying they deserve it? Yeah, you're saying black people deserve it.
You see how I feel like we just look for an excuse, like to be oppressed and shit? Because I did a whole video where I showed you, no, I'm not saying we are not done wrong. I'm not saying we are not misjudged. I'm not saying we're not abused sometimes. I'm not saying we don't face disadvantages. But I can show you a whole video of dudes that went to jail because decisions, bad decisions, just bad decisions. But we'll go tear our city down for a nigga that made bad decisions. But when it's somebody who really needs our support and our protests, we're nowhere to be found. But we'll go burn our city down for niggas making bad decisions. I hate people that just make it seem like the police is just waking up every day just on man. I'm saying if you deserve it, you deserve it. But I ain't saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody in there deserve it. No,
I understand where you're coming from.
There's plenty innocent people that's in there. I just can't say white supremacy is just running around locking niggas up though.
Bro.
And they're starting to get released. Innocent people are starting to get released who never even
40 years, one black guy. I've not seen. Yeah. Sorry, Jenny. I've not seen a white guy spend 40 years in prison wrongly convicted.
He says, I have not seen a white guy spend 40 years in prison wrongly convicted. just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it hasn't happened. Now, I haven't just taken the time out to go look to find a story where there's some white men who were wrongly accused and spent a bunch of years in prison, but I can almost guarantee you they exist. Now, do they exist on the same number, as maybe us? Maybe not. But let's not say it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? If I can go find some white men that were wrongly accused, come on, man. Come on, man. This is that looking for excuses. We're always looking to blame the white man for something, just so we can be the victim.
I've not seen that.
Hey, listen,
Now, go on.
Listen, you guys, I love you.
I'm not trying to convince you, by the way. I'm not.
Yeah, I just. Yeah, so it was like at this point right here, I just said, hey, listen, you got it. You got it. You're looking for a reason to be oppressed. You're looking for a reason to have an excuse to be mad and angry at white people. You're looking for it. I said, hey, you got it. That's where I was at that point. You got it.
It's good, y'all. We went back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
It's good. We ain't gotta keep going and shit like that. Cause nobody's trying to convert nobody or no crazy
exactly.
Like
That's right.
I just can't walk around living.
So now let's walk into the second part of this video. I would just like to say this to some of y'all. I know a lot of y'all don't like to hear certain things come from certain messengers. My thing is, forget the messenger. Listen to what was said. Listen, I know some of y'all can't stand Candace Owens. Some of y'all can't stand Officer Tatum. Some of y'all can't stand T.I. Some of y'all can't stand Anton Daniels. Some of y'all, listen, I can't please all of y'all. But when I hear something that resonates with me, I'm going to show it. All right. There are times where I feel like, oh, this person shouldn't be saying that. But what did they say? Did it make sense? Was it some truth? So y'all may see some people in this part of the video that y'all don't like. Just listen to what's being said. All right.
Oppressed, screaming. 1 minute I'm screaming Black Power, but then at the same time I'm screaming I'm oppressed. Like I just.
I appreciate what you're saying.
Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it?
I agree with Donald Trump on one thing: to make America great again. So now you ask yourself, when was America great? America was great when the indigenous people that were here long before Christopher Columbus landed on this continent by mistake. That's when America was great. Yeah. And so I agree with him on that. Make it great again, and you can take your colonialism back to where you came from. And return it to the indigenous people.
Yes.
And you will see America thrive again, because Mother Nature will come back and regenerate and replenish.
I am answering your question. Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it?
I'll tell you when America was great. 7 years after the ending of the Civil War. I'm disagreeing with my friend. 7 years after the end of the Civil War, blacks within 7 to 15 years accumulated over 15 million acres of land. Hold on, before we get to clapping, because the niggas bought some shit. Black people were the only skilled labor in there. So if it was welding to be done, iron bending, cotton picking, it was black people. So instantly, your value became more. And Candace has a point. The point that she made about illegal immigration affecting you is that it's going to affect you at some point. Why? If the Kegel Chicken Factory is hiring illegal immigrants at an undercut on the rate, it affects the black people who live there, who should be demanding $20 an hour because they're being undercut. So when they get wiped out, they have to hire blacks, pay them, and unionize. So she's right on that.
Black jobs. Black jobs. That's what Trump was saying when he said they're going to come in here and take black jobs. Same thing Killer Mike just said. He just said the same thing Trump was saying. But we got to be the victims. And we got to cry racism.
But hold the fuck on, I'm not finished. You have to remember that people who look like you immigrate too. So before you widely say, fuck them all, remember, America is always going to have a slave class. And if illegal immigrants or legal immigrants will not be the lowest paid workers, those in prison will be, and that always ends up looking like one of their sons. So it circles back around. So that's why people who are black, who are from two different plantations, got to get the fuck away from massa long enough to say, how are we going to burn down both their fucking houses?
Well, I got a question for Candace.
Okay.
You said America wasn't a racist country.
I never said that. You can't find a single...
You said America isn't a racist country, right?
America is not a racist country. Yeah, I did say that. You're right.
All right. So,
Got me.
all right, I look at one example, like inner city gangs, right? If you look at like inner city gangs, they were really like persecuted 100% by police departments and the government. What did America do to end the ideology or the practice of the KKK at all?
So let's dial this back to end the practice of the KKK. I want to start with saying to you, what percentage of Black Americans?
Yeah, I will say I didn't. I mean, I will say to say racism doesn't exist, or to say that America isn't a racist country. I think it's racism everywhere, all over the planet. Like, so I don't know. That might be something I have to disagree with, but I'm gonna let her cook.
Homicides, Black homicides, are committed by white people.
That's just like me saying how much percent of homicides. It's like you guys that for any.
No, I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to.
And you know what? That's another thing that grinds my gears when we're trying to deal with us. And I talk about black on black crime. Niggas always got to bring up, well, what about white on white crime? I don't care about white on white crime. I'm talking about us in our communities right here. What's going on in our communities? Niggas always got to, look what R. Kelly is out here doing. Well, what about Hugh Hefner? I don't care about Hugh Hefner. I'm talking about the niggas in our community that was touching on our kids and stuff like that. Yeah, man, like that grinds. Oh, that shit irks me. We always want to deflect and look at somebody else. When I'm trying to deal with us, it's you niggas in my fucking community. It ain't the KKK walking through my neighborhood, stealing the little girls, filling on the little girls, shooting all night in my community. No, it's you niggas. What about white on white crime? What about it? Let them deal with that. Let them deal with that. That's over there, cross town somewhere. I'm talking about what's happening right here.
Walk you into a trap.
I don't really study statistics because statistics, you could look at any race and look at numbers of killings and murder. So
would it be fair if I said that Black people are racist towards Black people right now?
Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's a little racist.
Do you think that we're racist towards each other?
No, I wouldn't say racist.
Good question. Good question. Do you think we're racist towards each other? Oh, we don't. That's something we don't want to answer. We don't want to answer that. We don't want to answer that because there are Black people who don't like Black people. For real, for real.
I find it interesting. The hyper focusing on the KKK, which killed thousands of Black Americans.
I would say that America kind of conditioned, like, if you say Black people are racist.
That was one of the points I made on Queen Strong's channel that night. When I hear people cry about white supremacy, it's like, oh, I can't succeed because the KKK. Oh, I can't succeed. I can't be successful because of the Aryan nation. Oh my gosh, I can't be successful because of slavery and the white slave masters from back. Like, that's how y'all sound to me. The KKK is holding me down. Like, I can't, like, When I hear that's all I hear.
That came from America's history. That's just what.
And then a nigga will scream, Black Power in the name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's what I hear. Nigga will scream Black Power right after telling me how oppressed the Ku Klux Klan has them and how oppressed white supremacy and systematic racism has me. But Black Power, that was the point I was making. Nigga, like, how much is Black Power? Nigga, if you niggas screaming, you oppressed. Y'all say that shit. You scream Black Power 1 minute, then you scream you oppressed the next minute. Which one is it?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say if you asked me if you think we are racist to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but if we were.
Okay, because we're killing ourselves, just so you know. Like we're at a way faster.
You can say every race is killing themselves
at a way faster and higher rate than any person in terms of white supremacy could ever do it. And if another organization that's doing it faster, you want to talk about the KKK? They killed thousands of.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Ellen.
Blacks. Planned Parenthood has killed millions, 19 millions. Nobody's having a conversation about that.
Bam! Planned Parenthood. Let's go back to this election. All this fake outrage. Oh, Trump's a racist. Trump this, Trump that. Yet you are voting for the extermination of your own race with Planned Parenthood. Trump wasn't pushing Planned Parenthood. It was Kamala pushing Planned Parenthood. This is what I'm saying about get the fuck out of here with all that fake ass Black Power shit, all that fake ass I'm for my people shit, all that fake ass I'm standing up against racism shit. When you wanted to vote for Planned Parenthood, which was created to just exterminate your race, and it still exists, and you were willing to vote for that shit. And then you're gonna cry victim. Do you see how we always got to have something to cry about? Trump's a racist. There's been many videos out there that shows this man is a horrible racist if he is a racist. He's garbage at it. But Planned Parenthood has been killing babies forever. Your babies forever. Created to kill your babies. That ain't debunked. But you were fine with that.
Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was an avowed racist whose goal was to reduce the black population in America, and she succeeded. In 50 years, there's been 22 million, over 22,500,000 black people aborted, strategically and on purpose. Over 1,000 black babies are aborted every day. So that means we are inside of it as we speak.
This is genocide. So wait,
we are inside of genocide.
Margaret Sanger wanted to exterminate the black race because she thought they were weeds. So yeah, we can literally talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's what Margaret Sanger, that's what Democrat policies wanted to do to That's why I feel so strongly about it, because it is these policies that date back centuries that were built off of the death and poverty of my people.
Y'all do all this crying about how you're trying to go against Trump because Trump is killing our people and Trump's a racist and he's going to do this, yet you're going to vote for Margaret Sanger and her fucking Planned Parenthood, which was created to exterminate your race.
Take a breath. Whoa, hold on a second now. Let's take a breath there, Chandler. We don't want to open up the can of worms about the truth now. Don't you worry, because we will. Let's read some famous Margaret Sanger quotes. Especially that one. Oh, wow. What a likable person. Obviously, I'm kidding. She's filth, pathetic, and she'll be rotting in hell right now as we speak.
Y'all cry about Black Power, y'all cry about white supremacy, yet you support the baby killer bus.
Trying to sort of implant their ideas via the church. And it was actually Margaret Sanger who you can go look up and read what she wrote. She was the founder of Planned Parenthood, and she had developed this strategy to go to the churches to tell them to teach people that abortion was a choice, and it was.
Go to the churches, of course. Black people love their churches. They love their pastor more than they love their husbands. They love their pastors more than they love their hardworking men. Margaret Sanger knew this. Margaret Sanger knew this. Go to the churches. Run this shit through the pastors. Yeah, your black pastors. We don't want to talk about things like that. Your black pastors were in on the BS. But y'all don't say nothing until it's the white man doing it to you. Victim shit.
Their reproductive rights, and she said, you know, the black people really believe in their ministers. She wrote this in a letter. You can go read it today. And she said, we can never let it get out that we want to exterminate the black race. But they have a lot of faith in the ministry. So let's go through the churches to get this idea out there. So we have to be very careful. We have to make sure the church is always protected and the ideas are pure.
Planned Parenthood in the U.S. was started by a racist, and basically her whole plan was to abort. They put abortion clinics in like the black community there.
Now, Trump didn't have the black baby killer buses. He didn't have the black baby killer buses at his rallies. The so-called black woman did. The so-called black woman did. The bootleg black woman had the black baby killer buses at her rallies. Let that sink in. And y'all wanted us to vote for her. That's who y'all wanted us to vote for, while at the same time trying to tell us how racist Trump is.
And then also in low income areas, and then like disabled. Like she felt like you need to get like a more pure population.
I find it interesting. The hyper focusing on the KKK, which killed thousands of black Americans.
I'll say that America kind of conditioned, like, if you say black people are racist, that came from America's history. That's just what.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say if you asked me if you think we are racist to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but if we were.
Okay, because we're killing ourselves, just so you know. Like we're at a way faster.
You can say every race is killing themselves.
At a way faster and higher rate than any person in terms of white supremacy could ever do it. And if another organization that's doing it faster, you want to talk about the KKK? They killed thousands of blacks. Planned Parenthood has killed millions. 19 million. Nobody's having a conversation about that.
40% of all abortions in this country are performed on black women. In the state of Mississippi, about 78% of all abortions are performed on black women.
78%.
In the state of Georgia, it's 65%. Why is it that there is sort of this predominance of abortions performed on black women? When I began research further about eugenics, I discovered Margaret Sanger was a chief advocate of placing the first abortion facilities in this country in Harlem. It made me a bit suspicious, because during slavery, the slave masters would kill, often, the infants of black women. And sometimes, this is really gruesome, they would slice a pregnant woman's belly open and kill the baby. And so in the black community, from slavery through Jim Crow, there's always been this emphasis on the community protecting the mother, protecting the baby. Fast forward, now there's an emphasis really advanced by these elites. Well, now we need to help out the race by exterminating the low performers. Kind of made me angry that the target of that was framed as helping the country, but the target was black women. Once I saw that, it was game on.
Dr. Martin here. I want to read you something from a book that I am reading. On its negative side, it shows us that we are paying for and even submitting to the dictates of an ever-increasing, unceasingly spawning class of human beings who never should have been born at all. This is from Margaret Sanger. She's speaking about black children. We are the unceasingly spawning class of human beings who never should have been born at all. Now, Margaret Sanger.
Now, guess who else was in support of Margaret Sanger and her baby killer bus and creation? Obama.
May sound familiar to you because she is known as an American activist, specifically a woman's activist, when it comes to birth control and things of that nature. Now, when they say a women's activist, the white is silent. She's a white woman's activist. When they say an American activist, the white is also silent. She's a white American activist. She was. This is from The Three Mothers.
You know what else she was? She was a feminist. She was a feminist. What we're dealing with today in today's time right now, all this my body, my choice, and all them women, most of them women that was voting for Kamala were feminists. or they had agenda bias. They were part of the LGBT community. They were feminists. They hate men, things like that. Yes, the Negro Project. Yep, I'm gonna do something on the Negro Project. She was that Margaret Sanger, the Negro Project. I was just looking at that today. But this is who y'all wanted us to vote for. This is who y'all wanted us to stand up for while trying to tell us how racist Trump is.
To pick it up.
I find it interesting. The hyper focusing on the KKK, which killed thousands of Black Americans.
I would say that America kind of conditioned, like, if you say Black people are racist, that came from America's history. That's just what.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say if you asked me if you think we are racist to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but if we were.
Okay. Because we're the.
I ain't never seen a KKK walk through my neighborhood. And I'm just saying. But those little marches that they have had, those, nigga, that shit's so fucking small. Like, how many times does that shit happen? Like, I ain't never seen it. Like, I've never walked around scared of the fucking KKK. This nigga is sitting here talking about the KKK. Like,
we're killing ourselves, just so you know. Like, we're at a way faster.
You can say every race is killing themselves.
At a way faster and higher rate than any person in terms of white supremacy could ever do it. And if another organization that's doing it faster, you want to talk about the KKK, they killed thousands of Blacks. Planned Parenthood has killed millions, 19 million. Nobody's having a conversation about that.
We gotta have something to cry about. We gotta have something to cry about, something to whine about. If they make things right for us, we don't have nothing to cry about. We can't talk about systematic racism. We can't talk about white supremacy if they make it right, if they help us out, if they give us what we're asking for. We don't want it because we gotta cry. We gotta play the victim. Woe is me, slavery. Woe is me, slavery.
But Black, it's hard being Black. Is Kamala Harris Black? Yeah, she Black because she went to Howard. And she's a AKA. And she know how to mix her cornbread with her collard greens, Black. That's how we know she Black. Can you imagine how pathetic you all have to be for Kamala Harris to do a photo op eating soul food and mix the cornbread with the collard greens so that you all can say she's Black? Do you know how easy it is to say? Do you know how easy it is to be Black? Now imagine all it took was Howard University, AKA cornbread and greens, and she's Black. Meanwhile, I say I'm not Black and y'all won't let me go.
Facts.
Look how easy it is to be Black and look how hard it is not
to be Black.
That's how you know it's Satan. It's easier for a man to say he's a woman than for a Black man to say he's not Black. It's easier for someone to say they were born in the wrong gender than to say they were born the wrong race. Think about that. Think about me saying I'm not Black and Black people fighting to keep me Black. When they just prove every day that being Black has nothing to do with appearance. If that was the case, then Barack Obama and Kamala Harris could not be considered Black. They're considered Black based on things they've done. It ain't them. Let's continue.
I wanted to agree with you. It was a conversation you were having with the other dude. I feel like as Black people, we do victimize ourselves a lot. I see.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, sister. That's exactly what I've been saying. These people just want to, these so-called pro-Blacks, they love to be victims. Victims. oh, slavery, systematic racism, white supremacy. Listen to Tariq Nasheed when he talks. He can't talk for 2 minutes without saying white supremacy or butt breaking. He can't talk for 2 minutes straight without white supremacy, and butt breaking. This is what you call butt breaking. Yeah, I fuck with him sometime, LL. I just hate when he get into his religion talk. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm out. That shit irritates my soul. Niggas just have to be victims. They have to be oppressed.
In our community, and I used to be one of those black people who were like, you know, I really like almost had this hatred for white people because that's what all they were showing me, until I actually went out and I started to go places and I started to see interacting with, you know, white people, and I was seeing how not every white person was bad, and it was shocking me how they were so nice. Slavery, that is a very sensitive topic. However, my personal opinion is that we're in 2024.
We're in 2024. We're in 2024. Y'all still around here whining and crying about slavery. And the bad part about it is, I showed y'all a woman back in the 1800s who didn't live under, she started a bank. She started a whole bank. She was a teacher. She was in her community helping people. Like, she didn't live under this whole little woe is me, systematic racism, oppression mindset, even back then. So to hear this young woman in 2024, 2025 tell y'all niggas, y'all always victimizing yourself, she's right. It was people way back then who wasn't living oppressed. Even in their time was harder than it is now. That's what I'm talking about that victimhood stuff. It's people who got the same education you got, that came out the gutter. They didn't let slavery bother them, stop them. They didn't let systematic racism, they didn't let white supremacy stop them. They went. I like this guy right here. This guy cooking. Go ahead and cook, brother. They started up their own businesses. They became millionaires. They're living their best lives. They're not living and screaming systematic racism. Kind of look like me a little bit. Because of slavery.
And it's a new time. And I'm not saying forget about it, but I just feel like we as black people shouldn't just sit around and mope about it all day. Every time I get on another social media platform, all they talk about is slavery. I understand that is very important. It's a very sensitive topic, and I don't want to be desensitive to it, like insensitive to it. But you know, I understand it. You know, however, I just feel like it's more to us as a black community.
Yes.
Like in schools, all they teach us is we are known as the people who were oppressed. I feel like we are a very creative people. We are very fun. We play a very key role in the making of America today, in society today. And I just feel like we are more than just slavery.
This is the young people. This is the young people of today. This is what they're talking about. It's 2024, 2025. Niggas still running around here crying about slavery and white supremacy and get the fuck out of here. This is why she lost. This is why people are waking up from that Democrat Party. This is why. It was a lot of young people. Remember, Kamala called them young people stupid, 18 to 24, said they're stupid. And they walked away. That comment right there. That comment right there. I don't know what it's going to take. Some people are going to have to get left behind. All of that victimhood, all of that dead weight. They're not looking to thrive. They're not looking to grow. They just want to blame the white man for everything. They wake up looking to blame the white man. They don't want to look in the mirror and fix at the things that's hurting us, that's harming us. They don't want to look at that. They want to cry. They want handouts from the white man. They want to blame the white man. This is all they want. This comment right here. God, they didn't vote for her. That young lady just hit some shit on the head. She's young, and she's like, man, I don't live like that. I don't live oppressed. Nobody's telling you forget about slavery and what happened in slavery. Nobody's saying that. But all that victim, slavery, that's what these fear-mongering pro-blacks do. That's why they in here crying about Trump is giving reparations to white folks. I know what my video was about.
See, the Democrats not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you getting your feelings. Oh, he going to give reparations to white folks. And while you sitting up there sounding stupid, the white folks you're talking about going to be in line to get that money.
Money. Yup.
And you're going to be broke and they're going to get some money.
Still crying. Still fear.
That's been our problem. When the money is there, we don't want to go get it. We want to find it.
Trump tried to offer y'all the $500 billion platinum plan, which dealt with you specifically, just like the brother said. Just like the brother said. When the money was there, you didn't want it. But now you want to cry about what he doing that you think is for his people. When.
Chris. What's your name? Chris. Chris? Okay, yeah. Chris. I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know, it's funny. Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where it started.
The birth of America?
Robbie, salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. These are the type of people that I try to surround myself with. These type people who are not living that way, man. It really is a state of mind. I'm not saying we don't have disadvantages and things aren't happening against us, but we have fought through everything. We have always come through everything. Why do we stop now? Why can't we build our own? Once we stop fighting against each other and undercutting each other and backdooring each other and coming together to take what's ours, to stand in the power that we have, man, come on, man. It's no limit to what we can do.
America, this country America wasn't built great. on murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country.
You
no country in the world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point, and it became greater over
didn't
time.
Answer my question.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
Facts.
I know you're not sure.
Facts. Name somewhere else that's better than here, and why ain't you there? Why you ain't there? Yeah.
Because they don't exist.
Were they?
Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
As diverse?
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if
opportunities
people are being
for
discriminated
all
against?
People. Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America.
Do you think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as
Who?
black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us?
There we go. There we go. Oh, 200 years, 400 years. Whoa. Oh my gosh. You weren't even here 200 years ago, dude. You're in college right now. What are you talking about? Like, this is what I be talking about. Like, 200 years, 400 years, I was slave, I was a knock and God and master this and master that. And get the
And no
What's stopping you
reparations.
now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people.
Mm-hmm.
man, Tatum was speaking right. This nigga is trying to be a victim. He wants to be a victim. What do you mean his talking points? His talking points was right on point. Nigga, it's 2024. You talking about 200 years ago. What are you talking about, dude? Dude, you're right here in college. with the white folks. What are you talking about? What are we talking about right here? Tatum was on point with this little guy. This little guy wants to be a victim. He wants to sound smart, and he wants to show his hatred for America or for white folks. And he wants to show the black man as a victim. Watch how he breaks this little nigga down.
How's that any different?
The black, and this is important because the media gets us obsessed with this idea of white supremacy and the history of the KKK. Thousands of blacks were killed by the KKK. And by the way, so were white Republicans, and we were killed by white Democrats, which is why I'm adamantly opposed to Democrats. But nobody wants to have a conversation about what's really killing black America. Number one.
But black males are probably the most people in prison. So you can't say nothing's being done about it.
Well, first and foremost, what are they locking us up for? Are they locking us up because we're black?
No, you just said we commit the most crimes. And
No, but I'm asking you a question. Are they locking us up because we're black?
I never said that.
Oh, okay, so I'm just saying to you that the reason why we're locked up the most is because we're committing the most crimes. We have to fix our communities. It's a real conversation that black Americans need to have,
and we don't want to have that conversation. We don't want to have that conversation. Oh, the police are just locking us up because we black. That's how Sinetta sounds. Oh, that white devil just out here shooting us dead. Niggas just, I'm going to have to show y'all that. I'm going to have to, if I have time, I'll show y'all that video after.
I do that with the Blexit movement when I target our communities to have these conversations. The idea that white supremacy is the thing that's stopping black America is a complete and utter myth. And until we're willing to have,
I never said that either.
She's not saying you said that.
I'm not saying you did. I haven't accused you of saying anything. I'm just saying what I'm actually saying. That's it. Okay. The number one issue facing our community is father absence. Father absence. Okay.
I disagree, but okay.
Excuse me?
I disagree, but okay.
Okay. Well, you said you brought up the prisons, right? If you grow up without a father in the home, you're 20 times more likely to end up behind bars. You want to know who I got that from? President Barack Obama. He talked about the stats of what it does when you destroy the black family. The destruction of the black family, if you want to talk, wait, I'm not done. The destruction of the black family happened because of Democrats and what they did in the 1960s, LBJ and his Great Society Act and the welfare system. We can talk about all of those things. The very last thing we should be talking about, if I had to make a list of 100 things that's really screwing up the black community, white supremacy wouldn't make the list.
But I wasn't.
Now imagine you all talking about how tough it is to be black, but you have a president and a vice president not saying they're black, but allowing themselves to be called black to get the privilege.
Wow. Wow.
Imagine you have a president that is not black and a vice president that is not black. We're talking about Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Hussein Obama, and we're talking about Kamala Harris.
They're not even black. You're complaining about how hard it is to be black. They're not even black, and they're using black to better them. How about that?
Imagine these two people that aren't black, but they are allowing themselves to be called black for the privilege. You know, I say it and I say it again. You've been had. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. You got tricked. They got you all running around saying how hard it is to be black, and they're using black to be president and vice president.
How about that?
Now, you want me to say it or you going to say it? Because I'm going to call you stupid and dumb. You all are running around in the streets, tearing stuff up, talking about how hard it is to be black. And the person is running for president and vice president under the guise of being black to get the privilege. And it worked. The irony of it all is it worked. Do you feel stupid or do you feel dumb?
You feel stupid or you feel dumb? Huh?
Is we finished or is we done? Let's continue.
How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go two blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's.
Decisions. This is where we deal with decisions. Decisions. This nigga's in a whole college right now. He's at school with everybody else. Man, he's crying about he's oppressed.
How is America stopping you from doing that? And
Well,
how
it's
is it
not
stopping
me.
you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How's America?
What's stopping you? What is stopping you? The KKK is. What do you mean what's stopping me? White supremacy is stopping me from helping my people. Huh? What do you mean, Tatum? What are you talking about, dude? You're crazy. What do you mean what's stopping me? Slavery stopping me. You just heard me say 200 years ago, didn't you? What are you talking about, Officer Tatum?
America stopping you from doing
Why
that?
is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
I don't think.
Oh, woe is me. Oh, we were sabotaged. Never mind today, what we could change today. Let's talk about us being sabotaged. Oh. This is what I hate. I hate this shit.
Let's go back to the
Do
foundation.
you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No.
Bam, they ain't make you sell it. So what? So what? They planted it. They ain't make you sell it. LL, that was a good point. Didn't make you sell it. So what? They put it there. Didn't make you sell it. Decisions.
No, I agree.
Do you think they
I
burned
read
down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother.
Good point. You got to make a decision to go pick that shit up and do it. Good point. Now, hey, times may have been hard for you. And you made a decision to go pick it up and sell it. Everybody didn't make that same decision as you, though. Even in their struggle.
Do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now?
I mean, he could be, though, Officer Tatum. But let's just assume he's not. He's not out there on the block. He's at school. Decisions. Good point, Officer Tatum. I don't know what LL talking about.
Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's stopping
What's stopping me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the is not stopping us from making money?
What's stopping you from making money? What's stopping you? He said money. Officer Tatum said, what's stopping you from making money? That's not a bad question.
What the same university as all these white people? How you got a different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We're in debt.
That's
our
your
fault.
He said, because we're in debt. Tatum said, debt is your fault. Let's see how.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay,
we were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this.
See how I want to sound so intelligent, but we were never given boots to begin with, my brother. You want to sound so intelligent, but you're getting cooked, dude. You're getting cooked with common sense things.
I actually went and graduated from a university. So
now you have an oppressed Negro in the young man, and Tatum is telling you, I didn't live oppressed, my brother. I come from the same hood you come from. Now let's go. Same shit. I'm trying to tell you, brother, you can do it. You don't have to live oppressed. You're trying to tell me how you're oppressed.
I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school in my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I mean, I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt, and I paid it.
That sounds like somebody that went to work, somebody that made it happen, didn't worry about systematic racism and oppression and white supremacy.
How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
Well, I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Because you know why you asked him that? Because he thought Officer Tatum was from some high class white neighborhood. He had a silver spoon in his mouth. That's where he was about to go with it. Until Tatum had to tell him, nah, nigga, I come from the hood just like you, nigga. I come from the mud just like you.
Right in the hood and stop six. Right in the hood and stop six. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different.
You can't ask me about everybody in my neighborhood. I'm one person. Nigga, you see how he's trying to tell the young man he's not oppressed and the young man still wants to be oppressed? You can lead the horse to the water. You can't make him drink. So you can't ask me about everybody in my hood. Nigga, I'm not responsible for everybody in my hood. Like I told the lady on Queen Strong's channel, hey, sister, if you feel oppressed, more power to you. I just don't live that way. I can't make you not live oppressed. This young man wants to live oppressed. You can't ask me about everybody in my neighborhood.
Choices. There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that made it out because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that okay? Does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You in debt?
How much money do you save?
Debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get in?
I don't know.
Into debt.
How did you get in debt? I came to this school. Who told you to come to this school?
Chose to come here.
Me.
What?
Sure fault. Sure fault.
That's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step. You may be in debt. Money. You may be in debt to make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach it?
Who's teaching us to do this? This is where we should be teaching each other. This is why Trump was talking about getting that other stuff out of the school and teaching this type stuff. Teaching people how to manage money and about loans and all of this stuff. And you wanted us to vote for a black baby killer bus.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got a college, you could get in a college education. When you have children, teach your children.
So basically help yourselves. We know.
He said that like that's a problem. He said that like that's too much work to teach myself. And that be our problem. It's too much work to teach ourselves.
We know you have this 200-year head start.
That doesn't matter, bro. You don't have nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I thought you said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? People don't own anything.
Whoa, you ever heard of generational trauma because of slavery? 200 years ago. I'm in college right now and woe is me, I'm a victim. See what I've told y'all? Niggas love to be victims. They just love to be victims. He said, you ain't got nothing to do with 200 years ago. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. Because my great grandmama and back in Africa in the jungles and on the ships, they fed us oatmeal instead of grits, and we are oppressed. And now, they never gave us no boots either.
Thing.
Where
My
you
people
come? Where you
own
come
nothing.
from? Where you
How
come
can
from?
you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What
You went
does
to university.
comparison mean?
He like, congratulations, hoe ass nigga. Like, don't be showing me up. Nigga, I'm trying to stick this victim shit to you, nigga. Like, and it ain't working, nigga. Congratulations, hoe ass nigga.
What does comparison mean when the statistics say that we are behind?
We're not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He not behind. He not behind. She not behind. Do I want to go point
You're
out
on a
black
college
people?
campus.
Duh, which goes to my point. He's not behind. She's not behind. You're not behind. They're not behind. And they look just like you. He wants to be a victim. He's in college. It's one of them old fake woke ass niggas. I hate these type niggas.
You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You were born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get an opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is?
Excuse after excuse. Excuse after excuse. LL, you thought this little dude was cooking? Stop it.
It's like here. It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I wanna make sure we talk it at the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our hands. That's the point.
Let me say this.
Hey, there were people who didn't have nothing in their hands. They went and found something to put in their hands, and they used it and made it work for them. No excuses. No crybaby shit. They made it happen.
I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out.
God gives you
Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. That's the hand you've been dealt.
Years.
Carver has been.
Decisions. That's what I was talking about. Decisions. Like, come on, man. Like, all this whining and crying, man. All this whining and crying. Decisions, man. God damn, all that fucking whining and crying.
Just relocated the black people, it would only be black people.
You talking on the script. I can't listen.
All right, come on. Next person.
The hyper focusing on the KKK, which killed thousands of black Americans.
I would say that America kind of conditioned, like, if you say black people are racist, that came from America's history. That's just what.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say if you asked me if you think we are racist to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but if we were.
Okay, because we're killing ourselves, just so you know. Like we're at a way faster.
You can say every race is killing themselves.
At a way faster and higher rate than any person in terms of white supremacy could ever do it. And if another organization that's doing it faster, you want to talk about the KKK? They killed thousands of blacks. Planned Parenthood has killed millions, 19 million. Nobody's having a conversation about that.
Planned Parenthood's largest affiliate is removing founder Margaret Sanger's name from its Manhattan facility.
Now, all y'all Kamala supporters that want to cry about Trump, this is what Kamala was pushing. Kamala was pushing Planned Parenthood. Kamala was pushing Margaret Sanger. Obama was pushing Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood. Let the white folks tell y'all, because sometimes y'all can't hear shit from us. Y'all got to hear from the white people.
Over what it calls her racist legacy.
They taking her name off of shit. They taking her name out of shit. But y'all wanted us to vote for this white woman's creation. But wait a minute. Y'all are so pro-black and y'all are so for our people. Y'all are so, but y'all willing to vote for a woman pushing to exterminate our race. Every time I ask these Kamala Harris people this question, why were you so cool with this? They never can answer this. Why were you cool with the drag queens? Why were you cool with the tampons in the bathrooms? Why were you cool with the men in the girls' bathrooms? Why were you cool with the black baby killer bus? Why were you cool with these things, but yet you want to tell us about how bad Trump is? They won't answer those questions.
And what's a surprising admission from the abortion industry? Planned Parenthood of Greater New York is removing founder Margaret Sanger's name from its Manhattan facility because of what it called her, quote, harmful connections to the eugenics movement. In a statement released last week, a spokesperson for the affiliate called stripping away Sanger's name both a necessary and overdue step to reckon with our legacy and acknowledge Planned Parenthood's contributions to historical reproductive harm within communities of color. This is the same New York Planned Parenthood affiliate that in June ousted its CEO after an open letter accused her of unfair treatment towards black staff members, among other abuses. Planned Parenthood has long defended or deflected on its founder's eugenics past. Hear how a video celebrating Planned Parenthood's first 100 years addresses the controversy.
Margaret worked with civil rights leaders, immigrant women, and black communities, but also aligned herself with eugenicists. Ugh. It doesn't seem to make sense. But way back in the early 20th century, eugenics was an immensely popular social movement, one with the kind of widespread legitimacy Margaret craved for her own birth control campaign.
It used to be they would simply deny that she was a eugenicist at all. And then the internet happened, and they couldn't deny that anymore.
Dr. Angela Franks is a Catholic theology professor and author of Margaret Sanger's Eugenic Legacy. She tells us Sanger and other eugenicists sought to manipulate the human race through selective breeding.
She believed that the world was divided up into the so-called fit and the so-called unfit, and that she wanted to ensure that the unfit were not going to have children.
Guess who was considered the unfit? Guess who Margaret Sanger felt was the unfit? And this is who y'all Kamala supporters wanted us to vote for. This is what y'all wanted us to vote for. The extermination of our race. We already got enough problems going on with the crimes in our community. But y'all want us to now kill our babies, our futures. Come on, man.
Dr. Franks says Sanger's worldview can be summarized by a slogan the Planned Parenthood founder wrote in her journal.
The slogan goes, quality, not quantity. And so for Sanger, eugenics safeguarded that quality side of the equation.
Planned Parenthood is not the only organization grappling with Margaret Sanger's legacy. U.S. Representative Russ Fulcher, a Republican from Idaho, has renewed calls to remove Sanger's bust from the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. In a letter to the Secretary of the Smithsonian, the congressman writes, quote, as our nation struggles to address racial injustice, it is unconscionable that an avowed racist and eugenicist is featured so prominently.
Yeah, y'all wanted us to, y'all talk about Trump being so racist, but y'all wanted to support a racist woman's creation to kill your babies. And then y'all gonna whine and cry when she got in office. She's not doing nothing for us. I hate not voting for her.
Representative Fulcher called Sanger a bad apple in American history.
She flew under the guise of championing women's health, when in reality, her motives were significantly different.
The Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery has confirmed to EWTN News it moved the bust of Sanger from its Struggle for Justice exhibit to elsewhere in the museum. Christina Bennett is the communications director for the Family Institute of Connecticut. She's also co-chair of Pro-Life Voices for Trump. Christina, welcome back. What's your reaction to this news? Planned Parenthood's largest affiliate will remove Margaret Sanger's name from its Manhattan facility.
Thank you for having me. My response is that this is not enough by any means. If they really want to reckon with their racist history, they need to stop targeting communities of color. Planned Parenthood of Greater New York is still performing abortions, and they are still
in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. That's what Kamala wanted. She wanted to push that.
Primarily performing abortions for women of color. So it's ridiculous for them to think that they can remove themselves from Margaret Sanger's legacy when they are killing black babies every single day at their abortion clinic. It's evil.
Do we really want to talk about racism and who's the racist? Do we really want to talk about who's really the racist?
Wicked, and they are living out the mission that Margaret Sanger had, although they say they want to distance themselves from her.
Christina, in reviewing Margaret Sanger's work, she wrote and spoke frequently about population control and considered some people, quote, unfit. What's your reaction to Sanger's eugenic ideology?
Well, I think it's disgusting. I mean, she was talking about people like me. You know, I was someone that was scheduled to be aborted, but thankfully my mom walked out. But she was targeting people like me, people of color, you know, women of color that she felt were like weeds that should be pulled out of the ground. And not only did she push birth control, but she also supported forced sterilizations for black women. So I just think that everything that she did, from the Negro Project to wanting to put birth control in the water to supporting forced sterilizations for women of color, it was evil. And unfortunately, today it's still being carried out through Planned Parenthood, whether or not they want to admit it.
Christina, this is the same New York affiliate that recently ousted its CEO after an open letter accused her of racial discrimination, among other abuses like financial misuse. What do you think is going on there?
I'm not really sure exactly. I think that there are staff members perhaps who understand that racism is wrong and they want to do something about it. And so I see that they are, you know, starting the process by firing this woman and even trying to reckon with her history. But again, it's not enough unless they really do the work of completely removing themselves from the mission and vision of Margaret Sanger, which would mean stopping abortion, stop targeting women of color, and stop killing unborn children, because New York has the highest rates for abortion. We're talking about a place where more black babies die every single year than are even being born. Their death rate is higher than their birth rate. So perhaps with what's happening across the country, there are staff workers who think, okay, you know, we want to be part of this change. We want to be part of this movement for racial justice. And I understand that. But it takes more than just lip service. It takes more than just doing shallow things or virtue signaling. It takes real work. And that's going to include primarily separating themselves from abortion, because abortion is the #1 cause of death in the black community, and you cannot stand fully for racial justice and at the same time end the lives of black children.
Come on, lady, come on now. And we want to talk about the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan is who we're afraid of, yet we're killing our own. We're killing our own future, but we want to talk about the Ku Klux Klan.
It's not possible to do both of those things at the same time.
I mean, that's my next question. Does removing Margaret Sanger's name from an abortion facility divorce her vision and legacy from Planned Parenthood's mission right now?
Absolutely not. I mean, does it? They can kill children in their facilities under any name, and the action is still the same. So whether they want to call themselves Planned Parenthood of Greater New York, or, you know, or Margaret Sanger, whatever they want to name their building, The action is what matters, that lives are being taken every single day, that women are being wounded, that fathers are being wounded, that the botched abortions are taking places, that baby body parts are being sold on the market, that women are being lied to about fetal development. All of these things that take place every day under the banner of Planned Parenthood. They can call it whatever they want, but the action remains the same, and it's wrong. It's injustice. It's dehumanization. It's wicked, and it needs to stop.
Christina, the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery has moved a bust of Margaret Sanger from its Struggle for Justice exhibit to elsewhere in the museum. Would you like to see the Smithsonian take further action there?
Yeah, get it out of there.
I'd like to see it completely removed. There's no point for it to be there. I mean, struggle for justice. Abortion is the greatest human rights injustice of our day and of our time. There should be Margaret Sanger has nothing to do with justice. If anything, it was a false justice movement because she unfortunately, through the Negro Project, lied to and manipulated and convinced African American ministers and civil rights leaders to stand with her. But that was because she manipulated them. So if we're going to look at her history, then we have to look at all of it, and we'll realize that this woman did not stand for justice, and there should be no bust of her really in any museum at all.
We just have a brief period here, Christina, just to address there are serious conversations about race and racial reconciliation happening in our country. Could this be a moment more people's eyes are open to the reality of Sanger and her work?
It should be.
I hope so. I would say that the one positive from Planned Parenthood of Greater New York changing their name is at least it validates what we've been saying about them for a long time. Pro-lifers have always said that Margaret Sanger was a racist, that she had a Negro Project, that she targeted people of color, and Planned Parenthood and their employees and staff, they've always denied that. They've looked the other way. They've downplayed it. And now we can point to what's happening. We can point to the name change and say, see, this is the reality of what's going on. But again, more has to be done because they're going to say, oh, well, a lot of people were eugenicists at the time and she partnered with them. And that's not true. She didn't just partner with them. She was leading the way. So even though we can point to what they're doing right now as evidence, we still need to tell people, don't just believe what they're saying. Research it. Read Sanger's own writings, because I firmly believe if anyone was to read her own writings, they would be disgusted and appalled.
I think I'm going to put something together dealing with the Negro Project, the Negro Project. I think a lot of us aren't really hip to that. But even to that, I think our children, I need to put something together for our children to know who she was and know what Planned Parenthood is about. Even for them to know what Kamala was pushing to our people. And guess who was all for it? Our black women. They was up front and shaming. And remember, Margaret Sanger was a feminist too. She hated men. So guess who was going against our black men? Black women. Feminist black women.
You have to slow down. I can't understand what you're saying. What did you say?
That's crazy to me. But how can you say the KKK does not exist today?
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Where are they?
What do you mean, where are they?
Where do they meet?
They could be judges.
I just feel like this is a really big story, and CNN should cover it. Where is the KKK?
It's literally an ideology.
No, can you name a leader? Can you name a gathering point?
Who's the leader? Where are they meeting? In what country? In what city?
Ask me where. I'm not going nowhere near where
because they aren't.
Because they don't. They literally live in the media's head. Have you ever seen a KKK member in a hood? I'm asking you a serious question.
So you're saying the KKK does not exist?
All right, come down. No, come down. I'm dying to see this. Because I have asked every journalist that brings this up since Charlottesville to tell me where the KKK meets.
So, in Houston, Texas, there was an event through a predominantly black neighborhood known as Acres Homes that was protected by the police, and they were escorted through a black community. So that's the issue. So they do exist. They are there.
And they're protected by the police. Protected.
Okay. So I'm asking you a serious question. As a black American, you fear the KKK.
I don't fear any.
Okay. So you saw.
So there you go. You screaming and whining and crying about white supremacy and the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around in the same breath and say, she asked you, are you scared of them? And you say no. Well, what are you whining about then? What are you crying about then? What are you whining and crying about? That's what I was talking about earlier about in one breath we scream, Black Power. Next breath we say, I'm oppressed. That's exactly what I was talking about. Which one is it? You can't be both.
Look, I am from one parish.
No. We're not doing 3-on-1. You can have a time. You can have a time when you get to the mic. I'm asking you a serious question. Of all of the things that is going on in the black community, you cannot look me in the face and tell me that you really think that the rise of the KKK is a real thing.
But
I won't believe that.
I'm looking at America, not really the black community. Like,
and I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear. You said you've never seen a KKK member. You say that there was one in Texas. What year was it?
It was around the time, around 2008, just before.
2000 and what?
Hey man, I ain't never seen no KKK. Now I've seen a couple of their little marches on the internet and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, racist is every racist white folk a KKK member? Like, man, anybody can throw a hood on just because they racist. That's what y'all just identify with is the KKK. The KKK. I ain't never ran across a KKK. I ran across a bunch of racist white folks. But I mean, a nigga walking down my street with a hoodie on, a white hood, and man, burning down crosses. I ain't never ran across no KKK, man. And then just for you to do all this screaming and hollering about the KKK, and then to tell me you ain't scared of the KKK, like, oh my gosh, you niggas is funny.
Graduated high school in 2008 in Acres Homes from Carver.
And they were walking down the street in hoods.
Yeah, that was an event there. It was a
Georgia,
huge...
They still have events.
Well, I think we're losing.
Good. Yeah, well, let's not lose the focus. Yeah, that's fine. I will definitely look it up. I will look up the Texas event, the KKK walk. But the point that I was making, maybe they did meet once, however, 10 years ago in your town, and I'll definitely look into it because I always want to educate myself. But the point is that neither of you can look me in the face and tell me that you think that the KKK is a real threat to the black community.
And then let's just say the KKK. I have seen videos of the KKK on the internet, like in their little white sheet. Like, I've seen that shit. But how often does that shit happen? Like, for you to be so oppressed by these few ignorant, racist white motherfuckers. Like, how often does this shit happen? Like, that this shit has you so fucked up in the head.
It's just how when they could be a judge or a doctor or a, you know.
No, but the issue here is no one's denying that there are individual racists
in this country.
In a country.
I said America is not a racist country. So you know it's not.
If they're not a racist country, how have they done nothing to persecute KKK members? Like what? David Duke. David Duke is a known KKK.
But yes, David
leader.
Duke endorsed a Democrat running for president this cycle. I just have to say that.
Why is he not in prison?
What did you say?
David Duke
Can you put the mic closer to him?
I do have to say, though,
can't hear him.
It's so marginalized. It's so minimal. The overemphasis, over-conversation, over-focus. These people are losers. These people have no life. These people are not in mainstream society.
Then why do we care? Then why do we care? They ain't in our areas. We ain't coming across them. What do we care? Let them be the KKK where they at. Well, let them be the KKK where they at. I do not wake up every day fearing no KKK. And in this day and time, I wouldn't fear them if they did live in my neighborhood or live in my area. Somebody is going to be uncomfortable for somebody. If you make me feel uncomfortable or make my family feel uncomfortable, guess who's going to feel uncomfortable also? Like, what are we talking about here? Oh, shit. Damn, y'all. Hold on, I'm getting through. We almost done, y'all.
You're not afraid of them. I know you're not afraid of KKK members.
I'm not afraid of them.
You're not. You're not. So why are we talking about them? Why are you even giving them the air of the conversation? Because you once saw them 10 years ago.
All America did was change
the
laws, and all they did was have to change their methods. They could have just changed their methods.
But what did they do? Did they shoot and kill? I generally am trying to understand, where are the KKK? Are they killing black people? Because if they are, they definitely should be prosecuted.
There's laws against murder.
I think that the issue and the thing he's trying to bring forward is that when you look at the historical treatment of organizations or groups of people of color, whether it's Black Lives
Historical. Let's go back in the day. Historical. Let's cry about shit from 200 years ago. Historical. Let's look at historical racism and let's still cry about it.
Life movements of Black Panther and so on. The moment that they were demonized, they were listed as terrorist organizations. Why has it never been that the Ku Klux Klan was demonized or listed as a terrorist organization?
At this point, who gives a fuck? I don't know, man. Like, at this point, who cares? Like, maybe it's just me. Like, who cares if they're on the terrorist list? I don't know, man. God, life ain't fair. We should know that by now. We're not on an even playing field. We should know that by now. A lot of us ain't in positions to make shit happen. We should know that by now. What are we crying about, man?
Never demonized the Ku Klux
by the government? Never.
Has the government
because
ever
they were
listed
the
them?
government. They were Democrats.
Well, yeah, this is not true. The
like,
Oklahoma City bombing was categorized as a terrorist act, so you're incorrect there.
So,
the Fort Hood massacre was terrorist.
I was a common engineer. I was trained by some of the same people who knew the guy, so I understand.
So let me ask you a question: Was the Waco complex considered a terrorist organization by the FBI? Yes or no? Who? The Branch Davidians.
It should be.
Oh, but they were white. You said that never happened against white supremacist organizations.
No, I said the Ku Klux Klan. I'm talking about the Klan.
It is a similar type organization. The Branch Davidians were misinterpreted
for almost the entirety of America.
The Branch Davidians were a white supremacist organization.
As a terrorist organization.
Guys, I'm going to wrap this up because if I genuinely thought that you thought the KKK was alive and well, we'd have a full, long conversation about this. What we're talking about here is that you want to ignore, and this is what genuinely frustrates me so much about the Black community. You want to ignore all the really big issues that we should be talking about, okay? We all know what's going on in our communities. We just had another rapper that was gunned down. We know about black-on-black crime. We know about abortion. We know about the education system. We know about Antifa, which is the closest thing that I've seen to white supremacy since I've been alive, is Antifa, which is the modern-day KKK.
So I agree with you on all of those.
That show up,
I agree.
okay? And the media that demonizes. But instead you want to talk about something that you have to pull your memory from 10 years ago when they were walking down the street in Texas.
What do you think started black-on-black crime? It hasn't always been a big problem as what you're talking about. What do you think started?
I already told you what I thought. Father absence started black-on-black crime.
And what
I already told you that.
What started the biggest father absence in America in the black community?
Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1964.
Was he not American government? That's what I'm saying.
And let's do a present.
Look, what I'm saying is I don't really care. I don't care about Democrats and Republicans.
Who is still encouraging father absence?
Democrats and Republicans are the same. It's the same government. That's what y'all don't see. Like
I'm neither.
Political party.
And that's what I was saying in this election. It's the Democrats that's pushing against the traditional family and family values. It's them. Trump is the one talking about stopping boys from being able to call themselves girls or recognize. Trump was talking about stopping that. Trump was talking about stopping the men from going into girls' bathrooms. Trump is opposed to the tampons in the bathrooms. Trump is opposed to child mutilation. It's the left that's pushing this stuff. They are against family, traditional families. They are against real traditional family values. They're for alternative lifestyles, the drag queens, the transgenders. They're pushing that. And y'all wanted us to vote for that shit. That's what y'all wanted us to vote for.
These are literally to divide us because
Democrats
and Republicans are the same.
I think you and I agree on the fact that there are problems. What we disagree with is that I am telling you that the left started it, the Democrats started it, and the Democrats are still perpetuating it. And the way that they're able to perpetuate it is by getting you to sit up here and ask me a ridiculous question about the goddamn KKK when we should be talking about father absence and abortion and black-on-black crime. Thank you for your question.
When you say, what do white people do? I mean, this is a country that has struggled mightily to get over its historic racism. There was a civil war. There was a big civil rights movement. This is the only majority white country that's ever elected a black president, let alone reelected a black president. The three biggest cities in America are New York, Chicago, LA. They all have black mayors, even though no city has a majority of black population. The president of Harvard is a black female. Martin Luther King in 1966, Charlemagne, gave an...
Now, this man is running down hella people who didn't let life oppress them. Like, he's telling you about businesses now, today, Adrian, what's happening? Telling you about our people today who are thriving and are not living oppressed and screaming white supremacy. Man, talk your shit, Larry.
interview to the BBC. This is 2 years after the Civil Rights Act of '64 got passed. And he said, I'm amazed at how many positive changes there have been in America in the last 2 years. Why, if things keep going like this, we could have a black president in about 40 years' time. Do the math. Right on cue, Barack Obama elected 2008. He didn't say there'll be a black female president of Harvard, and there has been. He didn't say there are going to be black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and there have been several. He didn't say the percentage of the House would equal the percentage of black people in the population, and it does. He didn't say the 3 largest cities would have black mayors, and they do. He didn't say the largest and most prestigious organization of doctors, the American Medical Association, would have 2 black presidents, and there have been. He didn't say the most prestigious organization of lawyers, the American Bar Association, would have 2 black presidents, and they have. He said president, meaning at that point, I can feel that I've reached the mountaintop, which is the speech he gave right before he got assassinated the day before. And now we act as if Barack Obama never even got elected. And we're still talking about systemic racism. It's not fair. It's wrong. And you're discouraging black people from working hard.
Now, this is my thought. This is my thought. I don't care if you destroy the Republican or Democratic Party, because at one time, blacks were Republicans. And you dominated those 7 years after the Civil War. You were Republicans. You had more blacks in the House and Senate than you do now, and you dominated your own economic communities. You did that as Republicans. As Democrats, you did the same in cities like Atlanta. You failed in other cities. But the most important thing is self-organizing. By the time we get to a candidate, we should have a list that says white man, white woman, these are our demands. You can meet them and get our vote, or not, and we're going to stay home and crochet and make collard greens. But what you cannot do is continue to argue over who is the best master. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump, Obama, your mama, my mama. What the fuck do you have for me and my community? Now, if you do not, and if you stop playing, oh, I'm going to say the snazziest shit to each other on stage, I'm going to show that motherfucker, this is going to be a quotable, and we close up the doors, and we simply say, how do we take the good of what you have, the good of what you have, the good of what you have and you have, how do we shape it into a 10-point agenda to present to every local, state, and national politician? If you cannot meet points on our agenda, we simply can't support you. I like you. I love your casinos, Mr. Trump. I like you, Bernie. I like maple syrup that comes from Vermont. But what do you have for us? Now, when talking about have black people done better, we keep doing better and we keep getting knocked down. We keep doing better and we keep doing knocked down. So I'm going to tell people, this is your homework. Fuck trying to convince you. I want you to go home tonight. I want you to listen to Thomas Sowell. I want you to listen to, hold on, I got you coming. You look, my nigga. All right. Yes, so, right, I want you to listen to Walter E. Williams.
Yes.
I want you to listen to Antonio Moore. I want you to listen to Yvette Carnell. I want you to listen to the economic strategy of Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey. I want you to listen to the political strategy of Stokely Carmichael. I need you to get on your study and prove yourself worthy shit, because I'm tired of arguing who got the best master. You are already free. Now, nigga, act like it. Do your research. Do your research and decide what's best for you, because what's best for us in Atlanta was a black man who said, okay, I'm the mayor now. You want to do business with Atlanta, meaning you want to have an opportunity zone. 29% of all government contracts had to be attached to black people. When he found out that there were no black architectural firms, he said, black people build driveways, we can build airport runways. So he gave the white architectural firms the rights to build the airport. The fucking Herman Russell Company laid the plane. So my thing is, as black people, how are we going to get in a room together, stop fighting over who's master, decide what our agenda is and how to leverage it? I don't care who agrees with Cap or JD or Jay-Z. I cared that black people as a whole showed up to work that day. What if nobody would have showed up to work? What if everybody said, you know what, fuck it, my nigga. What if everybody on the same day would have done that? If every policeman, every beer salesman, every car parker, every NFL analyst would have not showed up. Until we ready to do that, we're not serious about being free.
That's real.
You just here to see a show and argue over who got the best master. Until we decide what is the real breaking point. If blacks are 15% of this nation, we should be 15% of Wall Street. We should be 15% of music execs, 15% of Hollywood execs, 15% of governors, 15% of mayors. And until you hit that 15%, you're failing, fucking failing, no matter who your master is. So pick a better master. I say kill your masters and get your own shit.
Hey, man, say, man, listen here. All that victimhood shit, I just wanted to do this live just because it eats me up when people want to talk to me and they talk to me in this white supremacy and slavery, and they whining about 400, 600, 800 years ago. I hate that shit. I just hate that shit. And hopefully just, maybe somebody watching this feel where I'm coming from, and I inspire you. I inspire you just to feel like, hey, okay, I like his way of thinking. He's not living oppressed. I don't teach my children, I don't teach my family to live oppressed. You feel what I'm saying? I teach them to go get it. I teach us to go get it. I try to lead by example. I try to help. I tried to be an example of someone who made mistakes in the past, who wasn't the person you see now in the past. And at some point in my life, I had to decide, am I helping us or am I hurting us? You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with me. A lot of us don't like to look in that mirror, man. We don't like to look in that mirror. And that's our problem, man. That's our problem with a lot of people, man. So with that being said, I got to get out of here, y'all. Hopefully this video kind of inspired some people to come out of that. Like I saw the brother Robbie, that comment did something to me. The brother Robbie put the comment down there and said, hey, I once was thinking this way. This was my way of thinking. Some people are just going to live that way, and you can't do nothing about it. With that being said, y'all, I'm out of here. I got another one. I'm coming back. I'll probably come back sometime this week, if not tomorrow. And I want to touch on all this feminist shit, all this hating men shit, our black women hating, or our copper women hating our men, and what we're dealing with, man. So with that being said, man, I'll be back, but I'm gonna go for now. Y'all be good, man. Peace.
You think that the world is ending? I say it's a new beginning. Paper chasing this religion, like it costs to pay attention, man. If you talking, you gon' miss it. Study law, signs and symbols. Young and picking up a pistol. Message fucking with his mental, man. Welcome to cold-blooded killing. Drug dealing, low income living. Demons dwell all in they spirit. You hear my pain in these lyrics, man. Disregard if you listen. Place attention on these children. Knowledge only cure the ignorant. The prison system is a business, man.
Survival of the fittest now. Fuck the law, cause these coppers trying to kill us now. No more crack rock, now they trying to pill us now. Babies numb so they ain't got no feelings now. They done turn to killers now. All the dealers now, they done turn to fiends. And the stand up niggas starting to lean. She rather be a bitch than to be a queen. Trying to tell them that we started out as kings. But we blind by the dollar sign. All the diamonds in the gold, cause we gotta shine. Shorty out here in the cold and he got a 9. He gon' get paid or he gon' get a lot of time. That's the bottom line. Trying to find the reason for it all, Lord. Why was we born poor? Why was we born in the trenches? With fiends using syringes? Mommy tricking, daddy doing the sentence. Drug addicted and poverty is the sickness. Violence is just a symptom. I pray the Father forgive us for our sins. Boys turn to men. We was hungry for it turned to 10. Born losers all trying to win. In these streets I lost a lot of my friends. Everybody scared, we all trying to pretend. Cause when they smell fear, it's the end.
You think that the world is ending? I say it's a new beginning. Paper chasing this religion. Like it costs to pay attention, man. If you talking, you gon' miss it. Study law, signs, and symbols. Young and picking up a pistol. Message fucking with his mental, man. Welcome to cold-blooded killing. Drug dealing, low income living. Demons dwell all in they spirit. You hear my pain in these lyrics, man. Disregard if you listening. Place protection on these children. Knowledge only cures the ignorant. The prison system is a business, man.
I pray for him, pray his ops don't lay for him. Gotta stop, gotta make a better way for him. System build a new prison every day for him. Pottersville got a plot in the grave for him. Try to tell him that the street shit ain't for him, but I ain't got another way to get paid for him. Now I ain't walking around town with a thing on, grinding on the block all day long.
Young and thuggin', bustin', rushin', loving nothing, cussin'. Did respect his mother, mind frame bloody, background muddy, going through a thing, still gotta love it. Oh, mama thuggin', loving nothing, cussin'. Did respect her mother, scheming on her cousin, mind frame bloody, background muddy, going through a thing, still gotta love her. But you think that the world is ending? I say it's a new beginning. Paper chasing this religion. Like it costs to pay attention, man. If you talking, you gon' miss it. Study law, signs, and symbols. Young and picking up a pistol. Message fucking with his mental, man. 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 Let me bring you close.
And when I was your age, grandson, I wanted to be a ballerina. And I was good, too. Until I messed up this here leg of mine. And that was it for me. What you want to be when you grow up, baby?
When I grow up, I want to be a magician. You want to see a trick? Pick a card, any card. I'ma close my eyes. Don't tell me what you get. It's a jack of hearts, ain't it? That's crazy, I didn't get it wrong. This morning I was watching a tutorial, it was like 45 minutes long. When I grow up, I'ma be richer than every player on the Lakers and Clippers. 20,000 people packed in the stadium, Staples Center, I'm just painting a picture. Better life for my mom and my sister. And every night we having lobster for dinner and some ice cream cones. For all the nights we froze. And really I wish that my daddy could do it, but that's the life he chose. Guess he ain't think his son would be worth it. Bet he don't know how much it be hurting. But I know I won't cry no more. I don't even know, sometimes I don't know if I'ma see the sunshine no more. But I don't know, I'm only 9 years old.
When I grow up, I just want everyone to see that I believe in something. And if I lead the world, I hope and pray to God that I'll be leaving something. I got a hole inside my heart, I'm bleeding from it. Is there hope for me? Cause I can't think of nothing. When I grow up, I just want everyone to see that I completed something.
When I grow up, I'm buying my mama a house. Cause year after year they keep tossing us out. Tear after tear she be calling around, but my family can't keep helping all of us out. Too young to go get a job, I got school in the fall, but I feel like I'm falling right now. My cousin just made like 1,000 from kicking in houses, I'm trying to get down. Cause the only ones my age with it is the niggas in the streets. And I'm feeling like I'm living on a leash. Goddamn, I done seen niggas go from a Joe Blow to a whole 20 in a week. What I can't do is sit around and wait on everybody, cause I know that they ain't giving it to me. Plus every nigga that's around me getting to the money, I ain't finna be the only nigga bummy. Where the pack at? And the Ziplocs and the caps at? I'ma get a bag when I bag that. Just front it to me, I'ma get you that back. Do you only do cash or cash app? 5 months later, they buying my dope, but watching me close, so I gotta watch what I post. That's why I went and bought a gun before I even had bought me some clothes, cause they was gonna try to get me gone at the perfect timing. Mama just called me, couldn't make words, but I heard her crying. I called my sister to see what was wrong, but her big head ass won't pick up the phone. I called my mama back and said, can you please talk to me, cause I'm rushing home. She said, you the reason why they shot your little sister, trying to be fucking grown, they was looking for you. I told them leave, but they was pushing for you. Then your sister got mad, and long story short, she took a damn bullet for you. When I grow up, I'ma be a magician, cause all them niggas disappearing. Now my little sister, my eyes, you serious? God, I'm about to send you them niggas spirits. Feel like I'm the reason why she ain't here, I was only trying to stop from getting evicted. Feel like I ain't had no different decisions. We was brought up in a difficult system. We ain't monsters, we just miserable children. But I gotta make them feel how I'm feeling. Shoot at all them niggas, boop, 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 boop. Sound like I gotta go get a new engine. Tell the preacher I'll be a statistic. Tell the cops to come and send me to prison. Every time I see them niggas, I'm shooting. And I don't care what family member I'm hitting. Then they shot me back. Damn, guess that's how it's ending. They label us criminals. We just kids in the system.
When I grow up, I just want everyone to see that I believe in something. And if I lead the world, I hope and pray to God that I'll believe in something. I got a hole inside my heart, I'm bleeding from it. Is there hope for me? Cause I can't think of nothing. When I grow up, I just want everyone to see that I completed something.
Topping our news today is a 16-year-old gang member who opened fire in a residential neighborhood in Dayton, Ohio, tragically injuring 3, including a mother and her child. He was later killed about 2 blocks away. But this just highlights the level of gang activity that has been rising in the area as of late. In better news, 16-year-old Cody O'Brien has become the first magician to sell out an amphitheater. Please show your continued support for him and continue to patronize the good in neighborhoods. And let's try and repel the bad. He truly is a magician for the people.